Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going over the early MLB slate for today on DraftKings. Before we continue though, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. You can also follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. And if you're wondering why I'm not going over my cheat sheet and my own model, it's because I already have that set up for the main slate starting at 7, and I can't do it for two slates, so I don't even really like this slate anyway. So it's going to be for the main slate at 7. I'll have that video out later in the morning tomorrow. I'm recording this so like at 1 in the morning, just because I don't want to have to make 3 videos tomorrow, because I have to do NASCAR and the main video for the cheat sheet tomorrow. So I thought I'd do a quick video and go over just some quick notes and some of my favorite plays for if I was playing the slate, because I know some of you are going to want to, and I don't have time in the morning to do this with 3 other videos. So just going to do some quick hitters here. So SP1 for me would be Mike Soroka. He's 10,900, and really I don't really like this slate because there's a lot of overpriced pitchers and there's not a lot of good value pitchers, and all the stacks are expensive, super expensive, and not a lot of good value plays. I think it's a really tough slate. But yeah, Mike Soroka. He's been elite this year. He's been very good. All the numbers are good. He doesn't give up a lot of power at all. Strikeout rate isn't like crazy high, but he can still get the job done, especially versus righties. And really, he just limits the hard contact, limits the power, and he's very good. He's a very good pitcher. And then this lineup, we love using righties versus them. Just look at this strikeout rate. It's insane, 27%. A lot of these guys are striking out a bunch. Really, the only guy that's not striking out a lot is Miggy. Other than that, everyone's pretty much in the red area, which is, obviously isn't very good. So definitely like Mike Soroka, and I think he should be able to get the win too, going with Daniel Norris on the mound. So I do like these Brave bats as well. So definitely like Soroka a lot. Then the next guy I'd like would be Brandon Woodruff going against Pittsburgh. It's not the best matchup, but he's been really good. Better than his price jumped up from the last start by a lot, but it's for good reason. He's been very good. I think he's had 20 points consecutively for a while now. He had a really good game last time out, and like Soroka, he limits the power. Look at these ISO numbers: 128 versus lefties, 092 to righties. So he's been very good. You can attack him a little bit with the lefties. Not like you can't really attack him, but he's been a little bit worse versus the lefties. But the strikeout rate's higher, and he's sitting at around 30% K rate. So he does have plenty of upside here, and it's a good pitcher's park as well. And like Soroka, I do think he's going to get the win, because I do think the Brewers are going to smash Kingham. So definitely like Woodruff if you want to go there. I wouldn't recommend paying up for both of these guys, just because it's going to really limit your bats. And like I said, there's not a lot of good value options. I want to get some of these big bats in. So if a way to do that is, it's really gross, but I am saying maybe David Hess. He is a terrible pitcher, probably bottom 5 in the league, to be honest. But we need some of these bats in, and I do think he's really bad, but I think it's doable at 4,200. He's priced basically minimum price, so he needs, with all the bats you're gonna be able to get in with this guy. Really just 5 to 10 points would be fine, and then you gotta hope one of the top end pitchers kind of doesn't go off, because the people with double pitchers. So I think it's doable. He's bad. There's nothing I can say to make it seem like it's a good play, but the salary's what's gonna do it for me. 4,200. It's gonna allow you to get your Brewers in. All those guys I like. So it's doable. It probably wouldn't end well, but it's worth a shot in tournaments. And because really, there's no other pitchers I really like that much in this slate. I don't like Roark. I don't like Fetty. I don't like. I don't like Samardzija. So there's really just nowhere to go, and I don't want to use Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn's, he's fine. It's not the worst, but I'd rather get Woodruff at a little bit of a discount. I'm not paying $10,300 for Lance Lynn. So really, there's just nowhere to go. I don't want to use Daniel Norris. So punt down to David Hess if you want at 4,200. And for some of my favorite bats for this slate, I do like the Brewers the most, going against Kingham. He is terrible versus lefties. Look at these splits. He's not very good versus righties either, but at least he's got a respectable K rate and walk rate versus them. But when you go to the lefties, he's terrible. 315 ISO, that's massive. That's one of the worst in the league versus lefties. And the thing about the Brewers is we have some elite lefties in this lineup. And it's just a fantastic spot for them. We have Christian Yelich. I like these guys usually more at home, but the matchup versus the pitcher is just too good to pass up. Christian Yelich being the #1 play on the slate. He's been the best hitter in baseball this year so far, and he crushes right-handed pitching. And then Mike Moustakas, he crushes righties as well. Then Yasmani Grandal, always love him versus righties. So I definitely like all these guys here. And if you can afford them, which you could with David Hess. So it's one way you could use David Hess to make yourself feel better is you'll have the Brewers. And then if you want to use the Texas lefties, I really like them in the slate. If I can, where are they at? Okay, right here. So I always like hitters in this ballpark, and then we get a matchup with Homer Bailey. He's a gas can as well. So especially versus lefties. I mean, he's not very good versus either, giving up hard contact to both, but you can really attack him with the lefties. And the thing about the Rangers is we have a lot of good lefties here. So we have Shin-Soo Choo. They're all expensive though, but I'm saying if you go with Hess, you're going to be able to do pretty much whatever you want. So Shin-Soo Choo, Nomar Mazara, Joey Gallo, Asdrubal Cabrera, Rougned Odor, even Guzman if you want. I mean, he's got a 221 on ISO versus right-handed pitching. But I mean, the strikeout rate's high, but it is with Gallo as well. But if these guys can barrel up on the ball, it's probably going to go out of the park. You know, it's just good hitting conditions all around, and you're going against a bad pitcher and a not so good bullpen. So definitely like these Texas lefties. I mean, they're pretty much right up there with the Brewers. And then I also don't mind the Braves going against Daniel Norris. We got some good lefty smashers in this lineup. Norris gives up a lot of hard contact. I mean, even the lefties as well. So I wouldn't even leave the lefties off the off your lineups either. But versus the righties, I always just like righties versus lefties usually more. In Ronald Acuna, he's one of the best lefty hitters in baseball. 308 ISO versus them, 414 WOBA, high walk rate, and even some stolen base upside as well. And Acuna's got speed, so. And he's also fairly priced compared to some of the other elite outfielders. I think he's in the mid to high 4K range, so definitely like Acuna. Even Swanson's fine. Freddie Freeman. A lot of people don't like the lefty-on-lefty matchups, but take a look here. Daniel Norris, he gets hit by lefties. 203 ISO versus them. I know it's not as big as the sample size, but Freddie Freeman actually has a higher ISO versus lefties than he does righties, as you can see. I mean, he hits both fine, but he's a really good lefty-on-lefty hitter. 234 ISO versus them, 403 WOBA, and he's just one of the hitters on the game, man. I love Freddie Freeman, so wouldn't mind putting him on there. Josh Donaldson's always hit lefties well in his career. Mark Hakes probably not on my radar. Austin Riley in a limited sample size has been smashing lefties. It's only 13 plate appearances though, but using 870 WOBA versus them. So far he's been crushing them. Tyler Flowers, he's a really good lefty hitter as well. And then Ozzie Albies, I mean, I wish he was hitting on the top of the order because he's very good versus lefties. So if he is by some chance, I'm all about Albies. But if he's not, he still has good numbers versus them. And really, that's all I have for the stacks. And then some of my favorite value plays I wrote down were Joey Votto 3,600, just because I like that park, and Fetty's not that good versus lefties. And then Nicky Lopez is only 3,100 going against Lance Lynn, and Lance Lynn will struggle with lefties, so I think it's a really good price, especially for that ballpark. Then some of the San Francisco bats, I know I said David Hess is in play just because of the price. I don't think he's good. Just disclaimer. It's very risky. But Stephen Vogt, Joe Panic, Buster Posey, those kind of guys. And then Ryan O'Hearn as well if he's in the lineup. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. Sorry it's not like a normal video, but I focus more on the main slate. I'm not too excited about this slate. I think it's pretty ugly, but if you are playing it, those are what I like. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. I'm going to be working on the MLB cheat sheet tomorrow, and then I'll get the NASCAR video out. It might be a little later. I have to go somewhere around 12, and I won't get back till whenever. So, but I'm going to work. I'll get that out eventually. So anyway, good luck if you play the slate, and hit me up on Twitter, and yeah.